Mass readings on Wednesday of the 31st week in Ordinary Time, November 8, 2023. First reading. Brothers and sisters, owe nothing to anyone except to love one another, for the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. The commandments: you shall not commit adultery, you shall not kill, you shall not steal, you shall not covet, and whatever other commandments there may be, are summed up in this saying, namely, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no evil to the neighbor. Hence, love is the fulfillment of the law. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Responsorial Psalm. Let your response be, blessed the man who is gracious and lends to those in need. Blessed the man who fears the Lord, who greatly delights in his commands. His posterity shall be mighty upon the earth. The upright generation shall be blessed. Response. Blessed the man who is gracious and lends to those in need. He dawns through the darkness, a light for the upright. He is gracious and merciful and just. Well for the man who is gracious and lends, who conducts his affairs with justice. Response. Blessed the man who is gracious and lends to those in need. Lavishly he gives to the poor. His generosity shall endure forever. His horn shall be exalted in glory. Response. Blessed the man who is gracious and lends to those in need. Alleluia, Alleluia. If you are insulted for the name of Christ, blessed are you, for the Spirit of God rests upon you. Alleluia, Alleluia. Our Gospel reading is taken from the Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 14, verses 25 to 33. Great crowds were traveling with Jesus, and he turned and addressed them. If anyone comes to me without hating his father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, and even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not carry his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Which of you, wishing to construct a tower, does not first sit down and calculate the cost to see if there is enough for its completion? Otherwise, after laying the foundation and finding himself unable to finish the work, the onlookers should laugh at him and say, this one began to build but did not have the resources to finish. Or, what king marching into battle would not first sit down and decide whether with 10,000 troops he can successfully oppose the king, advancing upon him with 20,000 troops? But if not, while he is still far away, he will send a delegation to ask for peace terms. In the same way, every one of you who does not renounce all his possessions cannot be my disciple. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Reflection in today's reading. The Gospel for today can be a difficult one to understand. Jesus once again was on the road with his disciples, and great crowds were following him. At one point, Jesus turned to the crowds and addressed them. He said, "If anyone comes to me who does not hate his father and mother, wife, children, brothers and sisters, and even his or her own life, he or she cannot be my disciple." Jesus then adds, "Whoever does not carry his or her cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." These are extremely strong words. Did Jesus truly mean that we are to hate our parents, brothers, sisters, children, and friends? Or is Jesus telling us that if we choose to follow him, we need to realize that Jesus needs to be the first in our lives? Jesus is making a very clear and strong point. Our primary allegiance always needs to be to Jesus. Jesus is not saying that we cannot or should not love and care for our families and for our friends. He realizes that we have committed ourselves to our families and we need to live out that commitment. Rather, Jesus is telling his listeners what is essential. First and foremost, Jesus must be first in our lives. However, Jesus also wants us to love and care deeply for our family, our friends, and for the world community. Today, may we strive to love each person we encounter, the person we pass in the grocery store, a coworker who is struggling, or an individual we simply do not like. The quality of love that Jesus hopes we will have for one another surpasses the simple notion of liking another person. Rather, Jesus hopes that we truly will love every person in our world. This may sound impossible. However, with Jesus' grace and love, we have the ability to do this. Will we choose to do this? Jesus tells us that the discipleship cost. I think of how I sometimes resist the difficulties that the gospel presents and ask for help. May God bless us all.